To be completely honest, bodybuilding is absolutely useless. And even the whole process of trying to gain as much muscle as possible is kind of absolutely useless. Like, it doesn't really have any utility. And I'm a really weird human being with these sorts of things because I do legitimately enjoy trying to get as big and as muscular as I possibly can. But I don't like the sport of it, if it makes sense. And it's kind of the same for me with boxing, for an example. I really do enjoy boxing myself, but when it comes to watching boxing, like, it's boring. I have no interest in watching it. So I have these like weird relationships with the sports that I do, that I enjoy doing them myself, but I think it's a useless thing. I think it's boring. And I mean, boxing isn't necessarily useless, it's just boring. But when it comes to like specifically trying to gain muscle and doing bodybuilding or doing fitness or whatever the fuck do you want to call it, it's actually like one of the more useless things that you can do in life. Like, it has zero utility. Because, like, okay, you can bench press a lot of weight, cool, but you're not really going to get faster. You're not really going to become more flexible by putting on muscle. You're actually just going to demobilize yourself. You're actually going to be a worse human being if you're going to become bigger. So it's very odd. Why is it that I even enjoy this in the first place? Because I legitimately do enjoy it. And I legitimately do feel like it's a interesting thing for me to do on a personal level. But then, like, when you look at the whole concept of bodybuilding, it's like fucking guys roided out of their minds, spray tanning themselves, and then like fucking flexing on a stage in front of other men. It's a little bit sus if you think about it. And then on top of it, okay, what else can you do? You can post your physique on social media for other guys to watch you and for other guys to admire you and for other guys to comment underneath your videos like how jacked you are, bro, and how big you are. So the whole thing is actually absolutely sus. And once again, it has zero utility. Like, realistically, like, I've boxed bodybuilders, and like, bodybuilders are the easiest people to beat up. And sure, they are strong, but like, they don't really have any functional strength, because they don't really have any dexterity and they don't really have any agility, and like, they cannot really generate a lot of force in like agile movements. The only thing they can do is they can do like very static, very kind of like almost power lifterish kind of things. And that's not very useful in like any real life scenarios, as long as you're not trying to carry as many grocery bags as humanly possible. And realistically, you're not really ever going to have to carry that many grocery bags if you don't do bodybuilding, because the only people that need that many groceries are people that are actively trying to get as big as humanly possible. So yeah, it's like a complete vanity thing that people just do for vanity reasons, and people just do to compensate their little childhood traumas and try to like be a bigger, stronger man. And I'm actually super thankful that I also at some point picked up boxing, that I did quite a bit of boxing, because if I wouldn't do that, that would be absolutely fucked. Because the thing that boxing led me into is also like different stretching routines and different things that I can do to at least keep some level of mobility. Because I remember back in the days when the only thing that I was doing was lifting weights, and I didn't have a proper stretching routine or anything like that. I wasn't a functional human being. And it's almost kind of funny, because like a regular person, like if he sees a bodybuilder or like generally a guy that is like super huge, they are instantly going to associate these people with like strength, and they're going to give them like a level of respect. And then there could be a smaller guy that is just like very, very good when it comes to boxing, or very good when it comes to combat sports, and he's going to be significantly more dangerous than the bodybuilder, but he's not going to get the respect because he's not going to be visually intimidating. And it even goes to the extent where, like, when I go back to my old neighborhood, people would only respect me depending on how big have I gotten since the time they last saw me, and they wouldn't really even pay attention to the things that I do in combat sports and stuff like that. Because also at the end of the day, men are like very visual creatures. So like, it's kind of like monkey sees, monkey does. And if a guy sees somebody that is extraordinary in a sense where he's just like big, that's instantly going to, for some reason, signal strength and power for men, even though it's actually quite often the opposite. And once again, I mean, there are going to be guys that are going to be big, that can also fight and that have also done combat sports, and those guys are actually going to be quite dangerous, because you cannot really throw them on the ground because he's too big, but then he also knows how to fight and he has some level of technique. So those kind of guys that have this experience and that have kept this level of flexibility are going to be quite dangerous. But then if you give me like a guy that is just like very large and the only thing he has done for the entirety of his sports career is basically bodybuilding, yeah, I'm going to pick that guy as a sparring partner over like a small guy that has actually trained combat sports like every single day. Because I've had my fucking ass whooped by children that are 16 years old, and then there are bodybuilders that can barely move and you can just basically dance around them and they're never going to do shit to you. So yeah, it's a very odd relationship that I have with the sports that I have chosen, because all the sports that I enjoy doing and legitimately find joy in participating in are also the sports that are kind of, in my opinion, either the most useless things that you can do, or it's just like boring for me and I don't really like to watch it from the side. The only thing that I do is actually participate in it, and that's the only thing that I would enjoy, which is odd. I should probably find a hobby that is a little bit more useful, has a little bit more utility to it, but well, also at this point it's kind of a little bit too late to do these sorts of things, so it's just like I am going to have to stick to getting as big as humanly possible, even though it's a pure vanity thing and has zero utility. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you really like something, then just do it for the love of the game. Not everything that you do in life has to have real utility, and as long as that is something that you find joy in, and as long as that is something that you legitimately enjoy doing, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the while, and as long as you're happy, that's kind of all that matters at the end of the day. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.